to get back out. Then she sat in the lineup. Now she's back into action. Here's the replay. This is from our drone looking down. And a smaller but a crisp section and a nice 5 from her. Then she'll use the rail. And again, lovely footwork back up on the little go left part of the wave. And then she has a little look around. Spies another section here in that forward trim position on the backside. Using that heel pressure. Another nice controlled 5 from her. And then a little right-hand runner section through the inside. Uses that kind of stalling rail carve. And finishes nice and clean on the inside.
Yeah, you could see her thought process there. She was looking at it as she was coming into that. Is there going to be a chance to get down and kind of do a re-entry with it? Or just, let's just land this smooth, come in with control. So I really like the way she chose to finish that one off.
Okay, well, 6.5 remaining on the clock. We just saw Rachel ride a long wave.
I'm here with Michael Tilley, Rachel Tilley's little brother. Michael, you are a great competitor yourself behind the scenes. You're a great surfer. What have you guys been talking about in those kind of pre-heat conversations before Rachel hits the lineup?
Well, it's basically just we'll sit down together and just kind of look at kind of strategies of where she's going to sit, where the best waves are coming from, like the rights or the lefts. And just kind of just if there's a strategy about if she wants to catch the first wave or just kind of that strategies and best placement out in the water.
Well, she just had a good wave. She's fallen down into second and chasing a 6. What are your thoughts on that last one?
I thought it was a good wave. I think it's going to be close if it's the 6. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
She's still got a few minutes left in the heat. We'll go back to you guys for live action.
All right, cool. Thanks, Shannon. So, what do you think of that wave for 10?
I was going to say, that's a full-on brother fail right there. I mean, if he's not calling that an 11, I think he's letting the family down. You're the one that's supposed to have a completely biased opinion. Okay. That looks like Honolua Blomfield giving it a quick look. You can see the speed go back down to 0.
All right, so Hono will just maintain line up. It's taken Rachel a long time to get off this bar. On all the occasions she's been on the inside there, she's just kind of waiting patiently on the inside. That's on our screen. That's Honolua, your heat leader in the lineup. We're getting down towards that 5-minute mark. Honolua, she's kind of taking stock. She saw that wave didn't have much, and there's always that moment where you kind of go beyond the point of no return. You've got to make a decision. Do I stick with this, gamble for an inside, or go back and hold on to Prio?
And if you're looking at the scores there, you can see she's got a couple of quick in and outs. I mean, that's how confusing these waves are. It's worth giving it a paddle, especially if you're not giving up priority. And get a look over the edge of that wave, and then you're going to start to see whether it's going to give it to you or not. So she's in and out of a few of them. She's there. She's hunting that wave. She has enough time. I mean, she's in the lead right now. We're still waiting for Rachel's score to drop. She's trying to get rid of a 5.33. She needs a 6.03. So Hano knows she's not safe out there, so maybe be extra particular and see if you can find something to really put a big number on the board.
Wow, this next score is going to be so crucial. Let's remind ourselves of the requirement, 6.03. We are waiting for scores for that last long wave from the American, one of the former world champs in this heat, because there are 2 of them, Rachel Tilley, and it comes in. And it's not enough. It comes down to 5.83. Let's get a little bit of reaction to this heat and the situation from Shannon.
All right, well, I'm just down in the tent. I got a lot of crew around. Kira Steele, great friends with Honolua Blomfield. Rachel was requiring a score of a 6 and came in just shy. How do you think?
I think she's probably a little bit nervous, but happy because she's in priority and there's only 3 minutes left. I think she'll just sit on Rachel and take the win.
And coming into the contest this week, how did she kind of feel moving into it and training back home?
We've been surfing a lot. It's been really fun getting ready for this event, and it's basically like home because it's windy, bumpy, and it has power, so we feel right at home in Spain, except it's freezing. So,
well, thanks so much. Good to know that it's similar to Hano's back home. She's doing great so far. We'll see if she's able to take the win in the finals. Back to you guys.
On in the background as well. Real kind of fun energy down in the surface area. That's how you back up. I think she's getting a win and a little wink at the camera. That's how you do it. You've got to be that kind of one-eyed
Come on, Michael. Support. Come on. Give that support to Rachel. That's what we want to hear. Yeah, no, really fun. It's just like home except freezing. No, but this does, when you see the size and the power and the bump that's on there, it has a feeling of a pretty good-sized day at Chun's or Laniakea. So I know exactly what she's talking about, except for the fact that it's freezing.
So total contrast in terms of opportunities. This is the recap, and it's Rachel Tilley who's been much more selective. This was a 7. She got a second wave. It was a long time ago, but a really well put together wave. And as an individual wave, marginally the highest number we've seen in the heat.
Definitely, and you can see how critical and steep that nose ride was there, how cleanly she absorbed the power as she dropped through that and transitioned forward. Again, another nice nose ride right there. Clean, good footwork back, puts the rail in the water there for a nice turn. Again, a little footwork. Don't rush it. Make sure it's a good one. Very clean. Able to finish this wave all the way on the inside, giving her a really good score. That's the 7 that put her in a really good position. But this is what Hano did to answer back. Not quite as high scoring, the 6.93, really clean nose ride. Same thing where that board fell out from underneath her, didn't put her on her heels at all. Nice, powerful turns, back and forth, chasing the energy. And it's really fun being able to use the momentum of a longer board to get through that fat section right there. And we'll watch her change direction a couple more times. Gets a nice nose ride there, nice and steep. Even gets a little 10 tag right there. Again, to the nose right there, another quick 5, real tight, good footwork back. And she's going to finish this wave very clean. So that's how this started. And she was able to back it up with the 6.1.
Yeah, she's been really busy. I've been really impressed with how smooth and sharp she's been with her surf. And this was a bomb. She dealt with a lot of energy out the back. I like the aggression, so to speak, there, the kind of audacity as she just redirects off a pretty powerful section on a big old surfboard. And then little footwork as she just tries to look for a connect here. Quick 5-4 on that left section. A lot of push on this wave. And this one took her all the way through to the inside. Ended up getting a 6-1 on this. And finishes in a little drainer dump section right underneath us. And those 2 scores in quick succession, that actually turned the heat. And as we'll just rejoin that shot of our lineup here, where the situation remains unchanged. We're under 30 seconds, Wingnut.
Under 30 seconds, and as you can see from this wider angle shot, don't know if there's going to be a set coming in time to help Rachel Tilley pull the rug out from underneath Honolua Blomfield. We're down to 10 seconds left. 2 competitors are sitting side by side out there. Rachel has priority. If a wave were to come, it would definitely fall to her, but it does not. Congratulations, Honolua Blomfield. Well done. Great heat. Head-to-head battle all the way through.
A Brazil-Hawaii final on the women's side. We will see Chloe Calmon take on Honolua Blomfield. That's the final heat for the women. That'll be coming up in about, an hour and a half's time, an hour's time after our semi-finals of the men. And cool to see that little interaction. 2 friends, 2 rivals in terms of competing, but 2 great athletes and ambassadors for our sport. That's a nice moment in the water to witness there on your screen. And these 2 have given a great account of themselves and of longboard surfing and this tour. And a good performance from Rachel Tilley. It's going to hurt the margin of error that she got defeated by, but absolutely no disgrace at all. Got a 7-point ride and a 5.83, and that would have been enough to get through most heats.
That's absolutely fantastic work by both surfers. Congratulations to both of them for getting this far. Good luck, Hano, going forward.
All right, we're going to go to a break. Join us for the men's semi-final number 1. Edouard Del Perro will take on Justin Quintal right after this break.
The crew here at the WSL are taking some major steps to protect our ocean. We're offsetting our carbon footprint, cutting out single-serve plastics from our events, and committing to leave every beach better than we found it. Because no action is too small, and if all of us pledge to do something every day, we can make big changes for the ocean and our planet. This is our pledge to stop trashing waves. What's yours?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the first men's semi-final of the Galicia Longboard Classic here in Pantin, as Frenchman Edouard Del Pero comes up against Floridian Justin Quintal. Back in the booth with Shannon Hughes, I'm Sam Bleakley. Shannon's just been soaking up the flavour, the atmosphere as we went through that very tense second semi-final. First semi-final of the women's was pretty clear-cut from the get-go when Chloe Calmon kicked off with that 9. Brilliant performance from Chloe, booked herself in that final. But then, Shannon, you've got a bit of interesting information about the matchup coming up in the women's final.
Oh, it's pretty crazy. Hano and Chloe matched up in Noosa. Obviously, Chloe took the win. So, ranked number 1 and number 2 for the World Longboard Tour this year. Another final between the two of them.
So it could be those going head for head all the way till Taiwan, end of the season.
Oh, it really could. I mean, at this stage, they're both set up so well to win potentially Honolua's second world title and Chloe's inaugural one.
But right now, it's the men's. It's Edouard Del Pero against Justin Quintal. 27 minutes gone. 30 minutes heats. Best 2 waves. Of course, the winner advances to the final. The second semi-final will see Kai Salas from Hawaii surf against the youngster Taka Inui from Japan. The surfers opted to go into that middle position on the beach, very similar to the positioning that we saw Chloe Calmon go. She got that opening left, kicking off with that 9-point ride by opting to surf central on the beach. But right now you can see our surfer in the blue singlet. He's off to the right of the screen, and that's kind of pretty much 200 meters distance. So I imagine Justin's going to look for that left-hander into the rip on the right-hand side of your screen, whereas Edouard looking to have that option for both the right and the left.
Yeah, it's kind of nice when you paddle out in a heat like this. I mean, these men are essentially surfing by themselves. They don't need to really worry about priorities at the moment, and for those kind of setting the tone, that first wave to be ridden, they really each have a lot of freedom and kind of room to breathe without the other one sitting close by.
This would have been Harrison Roach, Justin Quintal if Harrison beat Edward yesterday, and Edward just had one of the heats of the event yesterday, and he really did have a convincing win to book his spot in the semi-final.
Yeah, it's always really exciting to see someone find that rhythm, to get in rhythm with the ocean. He only had 3 waves in that heat. He had a 5 and then the 7 and the 8. And it was just a really cool kind of moment to see that patience playing off, selecting the right waves, and everything coming together well.
Interesting, when I got the chance to interview Chloe Calmon, I asked her who she'd rather meet in the final. She didn't mind. There's not really a distinct rivalry with any of those particular women. She comes up against both of those surfers regularly. Do you think this rivalry with Honolua is going to be fueled, though, through this season and get stronger, sharper, more intense?
Oh, it has to. I mean, knowing that they're into their second final of the season, of their only, their second event of the season, and the finals again once again, especially kind of depending on how it goes. If Honolua takes the win, then they're going to be matched even for the world title points. They'll both be at 10,500 points at the end of it. But if Chloe takes the win, she's going to have a substantial lead ahead as far as world title talk goes.
And very interesting going into that final world title crowning event in Taiwan, which is known for a shorter right, but a longer left. And we've not seen the world champion win on the left. It tends to be the right. So Chloe, as the goofy footer, might really come into her favor leading into the final event in Taiwan early in December.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting. But then Honolua had her world championship right there in front on that beautiful ride. It was such a nice day. And so if she can kind of channel that memory and that kind of nostalgia of having won there, that could take her through for another win.
But first of all, we've got to get through the women's final here and the men's 2 semi-finals first. And then, of course, our next stop on the tour from the 6th to the 12th of September, we're going to be going to Long Beach, New York for our 3rd event on the World Longboard Series, as we can see a little set rising up there. Looks like Justin Quintal from Jacksonville, Florida is having a look in the blue singlet. Paddles for that one, not going to take it. Edouard Del Pero so far away down the beach that they're not really going to interfere with one another regarding priority changes, because there's a good 200 meters separating the both surfers.
Yeah, and I like to see that at the start of the heat. Both guys take a breath, get things started. 7 minutes down, no waves ridden yet, but that's okay. There's still, so much time, and there's been some really decent waves coming through. So I think, studying the ocean, these guys would just be really patient right now.
However, 7 minutes gone, I'm surprised neither surfer's caught away. Both of these surfers like to have a really quick, strong start. You can see in the top of your screen, that's Eduard Del Pero from Biarritz having a look. He's paddling. It looks like he's up and riding, sets himself up, fades in, 2 steps up to the tip, wide 5, stretches back, holds that 5. Soul arches, hanging on for a really long nose ride. The Frenchman Antoine Del Pero 4 steps back with a good, smooth, powerful drop knee turn. 4 steps back up to the nose, rebounds off the foam and gets his semi-final campaign underway.
All right, well, Eduard, nice little speed section coming through to that clean finish. Can hear the cheers on the beach from some of those local fans, being, maybe that European contingency cheering Eduard on.
It helped yesterday. Had a lot of French surfers arrive to compete in the QS shortboard event, the 10,000 coming up starting tomorrow. That seemed to give him a little bit more drive and passion. And again, opting for the right-handers like we saw him surfing in the quarterfinal against Harrison Roach yesterday. Shannon, what do you think of this opening ride from the Frenchman?
Yeah, really smooth setup, straight into that really long hang 5, tight 5, kind of soul arch stance. Beautiful footwork coming off of the nose into that perfect drop knee cutback. I like that he kept that high line coming out of the drop knee, and then a really smooth kind of crouching style. Gained some speed off the bottom once again, cutting through that foam. And then he put on that little finishing bump, and he'll be right back in the lineup as quickly as he can.
Kicks out on the sand, the Frenchman Eduard Del Pero, traveling here with his brother Antoine, who was eliminated from the contest earlier yesterday morning. Riding the Minval surfboards, Eduard will be waiting for a score to drop. Justin Quintal has not caught a wave yet, 21 minutes, 46 seconds remaining, and it looks like Justin paddling south, paddling down the coast a little bit, maybe recognizing that the scoring potential is going to be better on the peak that Eduard just took off on.
Yeah, this is an interesting little paddle from him. He was really patient. It's been 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes, without anything that he's really been, willing to kind of use that time and that space to take off on. 6.33 for last of Eduard. So that's a decent score to get on the board in the semifinal.
Yep, so of those scores delivered, the highest and the lowest eliminated, an average taken from the remaining 3 comes in at an average as a 6.33. So Eduard Del Pero will be pleased about that start. Psychologically, how's he going to feel with that score? Do you think in his head he's going to think, I should have deserved higher, or do you think he'll be pleased with that?
I think he'll be pleased with it, knowing that some of those bigger sets are coming through. If he gets onto a wave and has a similar performance, he had a great opening hang 5, really smooth, kind of drawn lines off the foam, but without really, going through that kind of shortboard style, as we see Justin Quintal up and riding.
Up and riding on the left-hander from Jacksonville, Florida. Justin Quintal hangs on hard to that re-entry and sets himself up looking for a reform. Is it going to cooperate? I think he might find a little bit more space here. We might see that trademark drop knee. Sets himself up, again, looking to milk this right through to the shore break. Sets himself up maybe for one more nose ride. Beautiful footwork right up to the tip on the very inside there. This is ridden right onto the beach. Justin Quintal kicks off his campaign, and he's going to be pleased to get moving. 20 minutes remaining and up and riding on the nose at 10 toes over. Nice flex low, but nose dives there. Eduard Del Pero takes a fall.
All right, the battle is on. Decent score to come through for Justin Quintal. Eduard will most likely have priority. He'll get out to the back line straight again. That wave, a little bit of a throwaway. He'll be able to shake it off and wait for that next set to come through. How did you think Justin's first wave was?
I think that he'll be so pleased to get something under the belt. He likes to get an early start, so he's pretty much been 10 minutes without a wave, so this will feel good for Justin. He sets himself up nice and high there, straight up two steps up to the tip. A really foamy, difficult section to navigate. Hangs on very well to this. Hard off the bottom, good, powerful rail work and control. Just looking for a little bit more cooperation from the wave. He did as much as he could, but the wave didn't really have that run, that pace, that critical pocket for that high degree of difficulty. However, I think he's just going to build on this.
Yeah, and I think to get something like that under your feet, to be able to connect through those sections as well. We saw some, that first wave of Chloe Calmon, it really ran so well, that left. Justin would have seen that and been looking for something similar. Although we know the conditions change here really quickly. Every 30 minutes, it kind of is switching up the lineup. But to kind of try and find one of those waves, I like that, connecting the dots through to the inside.
Comes in at 3.93, so Justin Quintal needs a 3.58 to move into the final, because Eduard Del Pero has dropped to 1.17 for his second score. So he's got a total of 7.5. He's out in the lead, but it's very, very close, as we can see from the drone footage. Our surfer in the red singlet, our heat leader, is having a look at this, but he looks like he's not going to be able to get it. So there'll be a priority switch. Justin Quintal now with priority. Both surfers, after being 200 meters apart, now converge together in each other's space. But on the inside, is there an opportunity for Edward Del Pero? Out of priority, second nose ride, rushes back up to the tip, holds the 5, gets his body nice and upright, stays loyal to that nose ride, pedals back, sweeps a turn, uses the drop knee setup for another 4 steps up to the tip, and takes a fall in the shore break. But he'd done a lot of damage on the outside.
Oh, he did so much damage. That was a really well-ridden wave. I'm super impressed by Edward surfing at the moment. He's really smoothed things out. He's drawing a beautiful line, great footwork, getting up and back from the nose. That drop knee kind of carve off the bottom, but without bouncing off the foam and putting a lot of effort into it, just kind of allowing the board to find its way through to gain more speed. Fortunately, we kind of went over the handlebars on the inside, but really nice from the outside. If I was Justin at this time, kind of seeing Edward finding a little bit of rhythm, I'd be kind of worried.
Edward Del Pero, the 29-year-old regular footer, born in Marseille, raised in Biarritz, lives in Bidar, runs a surf school with his brother at Côte des Basques. In 2017, he finished runner-up on the World Longboard Tour, tying on points on a two-event tour, having to have a surf-off with Taylor Jensen in Taiwan. And here on the replay, up and riding on his third ride, 2 steps up to the tip, again a second nose ride. Shannon, what did you like about this increasing section of size here as he stayed loyal to that high nose ride?
Yeah, I like that he just kind of started standing taller, looking more relaxed, making it look effortless. That's one of the most beautiful turns that I've seen. Really beautiful line drawn off the bottom into that drop knee. Of course, you know, mistakes on the finish of it, but what he did before that, it was a real pleasure to watch.
Justin Quintal's really going to have to dig deep here. He's got one wave. Edward Del Pero waiting for a score to drop. We'll tune in to what's happening very soon, because right now the wingnut is with our finalist, Honolua Blomfield from Hawaii.
Work out there, Hano. It looked like there was a bit of paddling involved, though.
Yeah, the peak that I was originally going to sit on didn't end up working out because it changes so quick here. But yeah, I guess I got a couple and made them work somehow. It's always a battle with Rachel. We've been going back and forth all year, so it's always nice to take the win.
And looking forward going to the final, this is the same final pairing as Noosa.
Yeah, my goal was to pretty much just make it this far, so hopefully I'll keep going and maybe get the win this time, but we'll see.
So are you going to rest up a little bit because that paddling just seems extreme out there?
Yes. I don't think I've paddled so hard ever in a heat.
Congratulations. Good luck. Get rested up for your final.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks very much for wingnut, and congratulations, Hono, meeting Chloe Calmon in the final. Scores dropped in for Edward Del Pero, 6.67 on the wave where he fell on the inside. So had he not fall, that could have gone up into the excellent range. And then he's just dropped to 4.5. So Justin Quintal still just with one wave ridden, 15 minutes remaining. A lot of pressure now on Justin. Can he pull some rabbits out the hat, Shannon?
Oh, everyone would expect it. I mean, it's Justin Quintal. He's got 9 duct tape invitational wins, and he really manages to just find stuff when he's in the lineup. Having another look at this replay from Edward Del Pero. So actually, this is that 4.5.
Exactly, Shannon, 4.5. So talk us through this.
Yeah, straight to the nose once again. Nice footwork off the bottom. Coming in under the lip, drawing, kind of a good line there, but that wave shuts down. So just two maneuver combination.
So out in the lead, Edward Del Pero, meaning Justin Quintal needs a 9.07 to move into this final. And we can just see that replay of that last ride of Edward there. Justin Quintal needing a really big score, but he'll just want to replace that 3.93 as soon as possible. And he's finishing a ride now, so it'll be interesting to see what happened earlier on in this ride. Looks like he started out going left, trimming back, going right, sets himself up right through to the inside. A rebound off the foam there, landing back on the inside. So 2 waves now ridden for Justin Quintal. We get a little look of the replay of the takeoff there. We get a little bit of opportunity to analyze what he did. It's unlikely to be the 907 that he needs, but who knows? He's certainly going to improve his situation by dropping that 3.93.
Yeah, it's looking more in his favor now. We'll have to see as that replay comes through just to get a good look at what Justin was pulling off from the back line. Nice little fade takeoff. Just being patient to set that up for that perfect hang 10 right in the curl. I like that opener.
Oh, how was that turn?
Really powerful.
Spray flow control. You know, in a very tight, short section, straight up to the tip, 5-10, and then bang, blast that off the top of the rail work. So through the inside, Shannon, not so interesting. Not much of a kind of score changer, but those first two moments, that halo hang 10 and that blast, was exciting, lively.
Yeah, the amount of speed that he had to pull two really critical maneuvers off, a 10 and that really powerful kind of off the lip, but he just drew such a nice line with everything, allowed the board to find its way through that wave.
For me, his heat now has only just begun. He's going to drop a score. It will replace that 3.93, but that 3 will of course be counting because he's only scored 2 rides. It comes in, Shannon, at a 5.4. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. He's now chasing a 7.6, and he'll hear that and kind of start to have to readjust. Find one of those waves that has maybe a long critical pocket on it. He had a really critical hang 10 into that combination turn. So that was good, but like you said, not much scoring potential on the inside, so maybe that score mostly coming from those 2 turns. What are your thoughts?
Well, the way he maximized that first section was very impressive. It wasn't kind of like a long runner like Edouard Del Pero's 2 6s. If Edouard hadn't fallen on his third ride, which was his second scoring 6, that really would have made it harder for Justin, but that's really kept that window open. As we can see, Kai Salas getting ready to collect his Qantas jersey to paddle out for the second semi-final against the 18-year-old regular footer, the explosive Japanese surfer Taka Inui, the reigning Japanese longboard champion. Kai's looking really relaxed. Had the chance to chat to him earlier today. He's really enjoying being here. He's looking forward to traveling to events in New York and Taiwan for the rest of the season. I think there's going to be a lot of confidence and momentum with the Hawaiian. Right now, though, it's the Frenchman, toes on the nose, drop knee turn, good soul arch on that opening nose ride, wiggling, weaving back and forth, cross steps up to the tip, 5-10, pedals back in the foam, crouched low, jumps off. So will he replace his 6.76 or his 6.33?
I don't think he's going to replace any of those scores, but he's now just staying active. Sometimes we see those surfers that are sitting under priority and second priority, they're just freed up to have a little bit of fun, to catch more waves, and you never know if one of those waves will turn into something really decent that, you know, the person in priority didn't want to look at. Hang 5 to start off with. I like his style going into those hang 5s today. Nice drop knee cutback. Just looking to gain a little bit of speed, setting up that second line on the inside. 5-10 combination, and gets a nice clean kick out.
So 2 waves ridden for Quintal, that 3.93 and that 5.40. 4 waves ridden for Del Pero, a 6.33, a 1.17, a 6.67, a 4.5, and then that 5th wave we just saw scores coming in. Probably not going to go into his top 2, but certainly delivering a lot of consistency with 10 minutes 17 seconds remaining, and Quintal in the blue jersey needing a 7.6.
Well, 10 minutes on the clock. This is getting really tight for Justin Quintal. I mean, you know, we know the way he likes to compete. He would have wanted to get a really decent wave on start, like within the first few minutes to get into something, to find some rhythm. And it took him over 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes even, to catch his first wave, which was just that 3.93. Took him a long time again to find that backup score, which came through probably a little lower than what he would have been hoping for in that 5.4. So for him now, he's really got to shape things up. Chasing that 7.6, one big score does it and puts some pressure onto Edouard, but he'll be looking for kind of 2 new scores, 2 big fresh scores to put a lot of pressure on Edouard if he can take the lead.
And his initial strategy was this peak to the 200 meters to the right of your screen there, and he did have to adapt and move back to the middle of the beach. You can see him standing up on his board looking for a set. He's sitting with priority. There is 9 minutes 14 seconds remaining. Both of these surfers, same age, 29. Quinny from Jacksonville Beach, Florida, a Vans team rider from the Sunshine State, and the tour leader, having won the first event in Noosa, but up and riding right now is our Frenchman, our heat leader from France, Edouard Del Piero, 4 steps up to the tip, gets a tight 5, pedals back 28 kilometers an hour, already covered 70, 80 meters on this ride, mushing out a little bit, and I can just see the streak of a Black Rose surfboard behind, shaped by Ricky Carroll, as we can see Justin Quintal riding through this left-hander. Shannon, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what happened on the outside, but look at this inside section start to stand up for him again. Goes in that perfect hang 10, nice elevation out of the nose ride. Now redirecting onto the left, really nice soft finish. I love those, even though that's a big, heavy section, that shore break, that really beautiful light-footed touch. Excellent completion for Justin Quintal. Now to see what happened out the back. Edouard's wave, what are your thoughts as far as that maybe replacing a score?
I don't think that's going to go into his top 2, but I definitely think that just the body language from Justin as he came through the inside said a lot. Here we go, 4 steps up to the tip, 5, 10, right in the pocket, critical, bolt upright, pedals back, up for the second 5, gets the second 10, again a critical section, so 2 critical hang 10s, big sweeping rail work, throws in the drop knee turn, and now in that downtime staying right in the pocket, just weaving back and forth, stalling, setting himself up, looking to use the footwork to keep that board in trim when he needs. There it is, up to the tip, again 3 hang 10s on one wave, and using that footwork beautifully to float and blast this cleanly and land strongly. That could well go up into the excellent range. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the highest scores of the day so far.
And then Edouard's wave that was taken off just in front of him. Beautiful hang 10. I mean, really lovely footwork coming into it. Love that little drop knee turn once again. This is where that wave just softened out on him. He took a check back though and realized that probably Justin was up and riding. You can see Justin in the corner there, and would have had a little pressure to maybe turn and get back out, get priority for that next set that rolls through. Still 7 minutes on the clock, and a big score to come through for Justin Quintal.
And of course, Justin had priority there. So Edward deciding to take that first wave of the set, not wanting to miss out. But do you think maybe it could have been a different strategy for Edward to leave that and just try to kind of get himself set up for priority?
Yeah, I agree, especially seeing that he has 2 6s on the board, a 6.67 and a 6.33. That's a really solid heat total at the moment. To now improve on that 6.67 needs to be his goal. That's going to take a bigger wave. He's already taken off on some of those small ones. To sit with priority now and wait out the sets is going to be really smart.
But for me, Justin did everything. 3 critical in the pocket, high degree of difficulty nose rides. Float, rail work, speed, power, control. Comes in at an excellent 8.0. Puts him in first position. Edouard Del Piero now needing a 6.742 advance. 6 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. Priority with Edouard. He is having a look at this set. Is he going to make a pounce, make a move? The surfer from Florida is hot on his heels as far as space goes there, and is now out in the lead after a slow start. And wow, that's got to feel good for the Floridian.
Wow, what a turnaround from starting on the other side of the beach, trying to find a different peak, got a really slow start into the heat, and then being patient, finding one of those lefts similar to Chloe Calmon's left that really just facilitated a lot of scoring potential, gets the 8.0. Right now, Justin Quintal is our 2019 Men's Longboard Tour leader. For him to make it into the finals again sets him up in an amazing position to take a world title this year.
And deservedly so. That was a phenomenal bit of surfing. The 3 critical hang 10s in the pocket, high degree of difficulty, power, flow, speed, control, great rail work. Edouard's opening 6.33 was a really good display of nose riding, but didn't have such a high degree of difficulty. It wasn't such a steep section, and he stayed on that long soul arch 5. However, Justin in comparison's wave allowed those critical tight 10s right in the pocket, high in the wave, a lot of lift out of the nose of the board. Beautiful surfing, and what gritty, resilient, competitive approach from Justin, not giving up, being present. And he's only had 3 waves, but he's right back in the mix, up in the lead. So now the pressure's on the Frenchman.
So much pressure on the Frenchman, sitting requiring a 6.74 as we take a look back at that 8-point ride from Justin Quintal. First hang 10, second hang 10 is really nice, long, locked in the pocket. Super powerful carve back into the foam, and then here he's really patient with it, but he uses that board to keep some momentum. I like that he gets close to Edouard here. No chance of interference, but he's just putting that pressure on Edouard, showing him that he's here to win this heat.
Well, actually also staying in the pocket perfectly as well. He was just staying right by that white water, staying in that steep section, and that facilitated that last hang 10 and that beautiful end punctuation to the wave. An 8.0 delivered. But Edouard, this could be one of the sixes. I'm not sure if this is the one where he falls off, but certainly his 6.7 here it is where he falls. If that hadn't slipped away from his feet after this second setup with that drop knee turn, this could well have gone much higher, because that real beautiful drop knee setup was very interesting.
Yeah, that was just such a pretty turn. I absolutely love it. This is Justin's 5.4 down on the inside, so getting something nice under his feet. Good 10 to just big bang off the foam, but in a really nice way. Threw a lot of spray behind it, connected this to the inside.
Yeah, the body language, such control. You know, the flex coming out of the hips and the knees, and the use of the feet, but the upper body so smooth, you know, arms kind of low, and that was really beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it was really nice placement of the board within that wave to draw a beautiful line all the way through. So Justin sitting in that leader position at the moment with that 8-point ride. Edouard Del Pero, he had a 9th place finish in Noosa, so he's sitting well within the ranks as far as the year goes, but that equal 9th with a few other guys. So for him, this is going to be a really important result. He's already looking at his best result of the year with now an equal 3rd at least. If he could get into the finals, he'll be in that world title conversation as well. He had a 2nd place finish to Taylor Jensen in 2017. Sam, remember that surf-off in Taiwan? That was ridiculous.
Yeah, they tied on points on a 2-event tour, Papua New Guinea, then Taiwan, and they had to have that surf-off, as we can see our longboard tour director, Devin Howard, speaking to Taka. So we're not sure. There might be a little bit of a medical issue here. We've just heard from our director. So that is a concern for Taka, who'd be hungry to be out there. So Kai Salas probably already paddled out, but Shannon right now, this is the important moment for Edouard Del Pero from France, chasing a 6.745 up to a 10, pedals back, shuffles back, stretches, but a beautiful sliding, graceful drop knee turn. Again, a second drop knee turn. Shannon, what do you think of this?
Wow, this is the pressure moment. He needs to keep his cool coming through to the inside. Great combination from the outside, lots of variety being thrown in the mix. Nice little bit of elevation even coming out of that nose ride through the inside. I love the cheers. He is definitely feeling it. The crew, the French crew on the cheering squad, it's been great to have them in the mix. His brother there, of course, Justine, who just knocked out in the semifinals, but an excellent result for her.
So we got to get an opportunity to really put this against those sixes, because his highest wave is a 6.67, his lowest scoring wave is a 6.3. So his opening wave of a 6.33 was also a right-hander. So for me, the judges are going to come down to that comparison. It's going to be very close. He needs a 6.7, as you can see on your screen, with 58 seconds remaining. Justin Quintal, sitting out there alone, had a little look at that wave. He's not going to be able to get that one. So 48 seconds remaining. The judges will now be studying that video replay, needing a 6.74. For me, it was very similar to the 6.33 right-hander, but without a complete memory of exactly what happened on that 6.33. I'm not quite sure if it's going to come above it or below it.
Well, 30 seconds on the clock. Do you think Justin is going to get another opportunity here? He needs to improve on a 5.4 to put that pressure on Edouard. All coming down to the line. I agree. It's going to be so tight on that score. He's requiring that 6.74 to take the win and advance into the finals. This has been a really wonderful first semifinal for our men's side of the draw. Man, 5 seconds on the clock. Justin Quintal is not going to be able to get another wave, so it all comes down to the judges in that last score.
So Justin just paddling into this, and it looks like he's up slightly too late. I'm not exactly certain that's too late, but I think it is. So does he know already, and he's not going to put anything into this? You can kind of see by his body language.
Yeah, he knows.
That was too late. So it all comes down to this score for Edouard Del Pero. So Shannon, I mean, you know, what do you think? I'm putting a lot of pressure on you here. I mean, you know, is it close?
Just throw me under the bus, Sam. I don't know about this. Man, it's so close. I mean, he had a great nose ride to start, a good nose ride to finish, and a couple really powerful turns in between. He connected the sections really well. It was a smaller wave size, though. I mean, so many different things coming into factor. He did tick the variety box. I feel like he had good style, good grace in the mix of things in those kind of flow lines.
It was going to be really close. I think it was very similar to his 6.33, because that was the opening right-hander, and I think it's going to be it's just so similar to that 6.33, and that means it might, you know, is it just going to be enough, or is it just going to be not enough? Shannon, it comes in at a 6.4 6.40. So it's not enough. He needed a 6.74. So that's the official. Justin Quintal has progressed to the final. So our first finalist in the men's has been decided. So much emotion for the young Frenchman, Edouard Del Pero, going for his first world title there. Drops to 6.4. It was similar to that opening 6.33, Shannon.
Yeah, I think it's a good evaluation from the judges, you know, kind of taking everything into factor, taking into some of the better waves that came through in that heat that really allowed for those better scoring potentials, those really decent pockets. I appreciate, you know, the work that the judges have put in behind the scenes here. Appreciate the emotion that Edouard's feeling right now. I mean, it's a really intense, these guys are so serious. There's so much heart and passion on the line to make it into the finals and to take the wins. But Justin Quintal, excellent heat.
Yeah, wow, look at that drone footage of all the fan base here in Galicia. Everybody's coming down. It's a Saturday. The action is hot. We're going to be moving on to finals later on this afternoon. The sun is coming out. The swell is pretty big. The tide is rising. And what a great festival occasion. And of course, Edouard Del Pero is going to be absolutely heartbroken at that result, Shannon.
Oh, such a heartbreak. And there's just so much behind the scenes going on. But congratulations to Justin. I mean, what a great semifinal. To finish off that close, both men have to be so proud.
Yeah, and it was a slow start. Neither of the surfers very busy in the beginning. A long wait before those first waves. And then, Edouard Del Pero, he just was really active throughout. And then when that 8 was dropped from Justin Quintal, that really put the pressure on Edward, needing the score on that last ride. Didn't get it. Quintal in the final. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. We'll be back very soon for the second semi-finalist. Kai Salas from Hawaii surfs against the young Japanese man Taka Inouye. Stay with us for the Galicia Longboard Classic.